What's up, guys? Eric here, Team Eccentric, and bring you guys my Mermail Atlantean deck profile for the Rochester Regional I recently attended. I got a record of X3, so out of 8 rounds, 5-3, 5 wins, 3 losses. I'll leave the tournament report to the actual video that I'm going to post about the tournament itself. I brought the deck to the tournament, and after every match I reported kind of what I played against and how the match went. So I do think a lot of choices in this list could definitely be improved upon, and I think I'm definitely going to change it up after this regional. I think a lot of my choices were kind of based on flawed theory, but I think that some theory could have been useful, and some of it was kind of just lackluster. So but I'll just leave that to the deck profile. So let's get right into it. So we're starting off with the triple deck list, obviously, right? Heart and soul of the deck, we have triple Atlantean Dragoons, triple Abyss Rhine, the Atlantean Spirits, the Poseidra, and 1 heavy infantry. So this engine was obviously like the best engine in the deck. And then from there, the Mermails, we played triple Mermail Abyss Teus, triple Mermail Shadow Squad, and double Abyss Pike. So this engine obviously coincides with the Atlanteans, and I think that this engine was pretty okay. I think, obviously the Atlanteans are a little bit stronger than the Mermails, but like obviously the engines are kind of now bridged, so that's pretty good. Then this was definitely an odd choice, but it was a choice that I kind of actually liked, and it was partially due to Team COG Charles. Shout outs to him, but this honestly did kind of help out in a lot of matches. I bumped Minstrel to 3 in the main. So I bumped Minstrel to 3 in the main specifically because I did decide to try and play Penguin again. So my biggest issue with Penguin is that Penguin searches for your searches. So if you get drolled, you get stuck under Penguin, and that's kind of all you have, right? But if you see Minstrel first and another water, then that gets you all the searches you need for the Penguin, and that kind of like, you know what I mean? Like you can play under hand traps, where you can rip the droll, summon the Penguin, do the Penguin line, and then go down that route. And I think that's kind of nifty. So definitely, I think this was actually probably pretty cool. I think there were some times where it bricked a little bit here and there, but it really did help quite a bit. Like it made my hands a little bit more consistent, at least in terms of getting through hand traps and ripping cards from my opponent's hand. And at least getting the hand knowledge. Then from there, Moon Glacier, obviously, 1 Coelacanth, obviously, 1 Glutinous, and then I did play the Testudo lock. Honestly, I don't think I like the Testudo lock anymore. I think I'm gonna cut it. I think I'm gonna start playing the Ice Barrier stuff. I think it just sets up a more threatening board. I think under Testudo, I think Team COG does have a point where like you build these like almost half boards under Testudo, and you can definitely build a solid board, but it requires you to play like brickier cards like the Butterfly Fish in order to extend, whereas under the Ice Barrier stuff, you can kind of make, I would say, a more ominous board that your opponent has to really kind of gauge their interactions through. And I think Testudo just like, yeah, it can be an auto win against certain decks, but there's also decks in the format like Yummy or Striker where Testudo really doesn't do much. So yeah. Then for the non-engine, obviously we play the triple Fua, triple Perulia, triple Ash, triple Impulse, triple Imperm. That's standard at this point, I feel. I'm definitely, like I said, going to be changing this list up after this, and quite considerably. I'm thinking I'm going to change quite a lot. Then from here, for the extra, we played obviously the 1 Mermail King Neptibus, the 1 Abyss Glacia, and the 1 Coral Anemone. These are the links, pretty standard in my opinion. Then for the Xyz, we played 1 Poseidra, 1 Gaios, 1 Trite, and 1 Lavirtue Dragon. So all these are pretty standard as well. Then for the Synchros, so a lot of people choose Chang'e, but in this regional, I actually chose Ice Jade, Gamir. So the reason why I chose Gamir was because I figured that people are going to be playing a lot of Striker, and a lot of Striker decks play cards like Raigeki, Lightning Storm, etc., like board breakers, things that destroy your board. So I figure if you notice your opponent's on Striker, you just kind of summon this and then prevent them from destroying your board. And even if they don't destroy your board and they activate Engage, you can chain this to the Engage to prevent any kind of, future board breakers, as well as banishing the Engage from the field of grave. You banish all copies of Engage, which can be pretty nifty, but at the same time, it really never came up, so that's the thing. Then we made Trishula, Ravenous Crocodile Dragon. Honestly, I'm going to cut the Ravenous Crocodile Dragon probably for Kragan, because Kragan is really good against Dummy. 1 Dragite, 1 Gradle Dragon for the Penguin, 1 Primadonna, 1 Roseros, and 1 Repertoire for the Penguin. So something that I am considering is putting Diva back in, so that way I can actually use the Repertoire. I think that's kind of a cool idea, so I think I'm going to do that eventually. And then for the side deck, so the side deck, again, kind of flawed theory, I think, but it did okay, I guess. So 2 Gamma Seal. This was for Lunalight, and even then, in the Lunalight matchup, I went first both games and lost both games, so it was kind of rough. 2 Bell. Obviously, Bell's really good against Draco Tail, etc., etc. Good against Yummy, all that. 2 Droll. Droll is just, it's Droll. What are you going to do? 1 Warlock of the Ice Barrier. Card actually did come up, and it did win me my matchup against White Forest in one of my later rounds. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. Then for spells on the side, we have double Lightning Storm, 1 Feather Duster. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to cut these. Either I'm going to cut these, or I'm going to cut something else and put in the Antimagic Arrows. I really actually honestly think that card's better than some of the stuff on my side currently. Then we play the Columbine the Crossouts. Honestly, I never used either of these. I sided them in multiple times, and I never used either of them. I never saw them, so that's just how it goes, right? And then last but not least was the Triple Evenly, which did come up against the Apophis Millennium deck that I played in the regional, which, it's kind of a nifty deck, but I don't think it's meta breaking or anything like that. It's not like one of those decks where you have to actually really consider what it's doing. It's one of those decks that if you have the right answer, you can just kind of play through it, and Evenly is just the right answer, and I just drew Evenly in game 2 against the Focus player, and it was just kind of that was kind of the thing there. So so that is the deck profile. Just a quick, sweet and short deck profile. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I will be updating the deck and kind of keeping you guys updated on what I'm changing in and out, and we'll just kind of go from there. So Eric here with Team Eccentric, and I'm signing out.